Have you ever wondered how on earth do I actually make money on Instagram as a personal trainer? Whether you're turning your science skills into programs for the first time, or you're taking a very successful coaching business and looking to add more online leverage, or you're looking for the ways that you can replace your in-person clients with online strategies, then welcome to the PT Profit Podcast, episode number 418. I'm your host, Beverly Simpson, and today we are discussing how you can make money on Instagram, whether you're new or whether you're just starting out or you're looking for more leverage. Are you ready? Let's get started. What's up, coach? Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of the PT Profit Podcast. I'm your host, Beverly Simpson, a former district fitness manager for a national gym in Manhattan, bringing in $2.1 million per year. I've generated over seven figures online. And today in this show, we break down some of the best practices for what's working now, starting with principles. I have to share. I know I've been absent from the podcast, and usually I never want to be like, oh, I'm gone. It's a season, blah, blah, blah. But over this week, I was sitting in a room in my mastermind of over 50 entrepreneurs that have made well over, there must have been $100 million combined in that room, at least. These people are ranging anywhere from 250 a year all the way up to $2.1 million per year. And right now, there is a huge divide. And the divide in that room, some people are either having their best years to date, and some people are having the worst personally and professionally. Their years are just in the toilet. I probably don't have to tell you where you are. You already know. The good news is, as if your business is in utter collapse, there is hope. There's hope for two reasons. One, there is evidence out there. Both my clients are also having some of their most successful years. My peers are having some of their most successful years. So there is evidence of hope and incredible work out there. That's number one. Because if they can do it, you can do it. Number two, the fitness industry is changing with the introduction and use of GLP-1s and even some of, for better or worse, more accessibility to those tools, as well as the innovation of AI. So what this means is the barrier of entry to sell these products is lower. So for consumers, one of two things ends up happening is one, their trust in process and product is way down, meaning not only have they had a horrible experience, it's happened within the last 7 days. So you, as the coach, it's your job to really communicate and address that resistance, to demonstrate, not tell, but demonstrate why you are unique, new, revolutionary, and will actually help them achieve the goal. The second component for the consumer is that they have become savvier than ever. So what that means is not only are they either operating from mistakes or misconceptions, they already think that they know better. So in practice, that means if they're using AI and they're using AI as their coach, then they already think that the AI robot is the coach. Now, I don't know about you, but I can spot AI work from a mile away, and that's not a bad thing. AI is a very good, effective tool and can be for productivity, but it's not if you're using AI to replace your intellectual property. Then we've got some problems and you likely will struggle. This also means that your products and programs can no longer be information based. Your work now becomes how can we adapt? How can we demonstrate more of an implementation component? Because if you thought that the information age was dead before, now we're way beyond information being dead. It's a good thing. So I did share this with my clients and I'll share it with you here today on the show. I don't know what it is, but 2025 has been for me the most personal and professional breakdown I have had to date. And so I'll start with the personal with the one caveat that I am not available in my DMs to receive any critical feedback around this situation, just because it has been so delicate and it's been so vulnerable. And I am very well supported, psych and physio team, as well as my masterminds and my colleagues who are in the trenches with me. So I'm well supported, and I know that your critical feedback will come from a heart place. Now, with that said, my capability to handle any type of criticism is low. And so that's partly been why I've stepped away from the show, why I've just really gone inward because I've had to dive into the family crisis I've had here at home. And so basically, what's happening is that my 10-year-old daughter is just going through some mental challenges and has been just a very intense experience. We're dealing with hormones changing, but we've had a lot of safety issues with her life at play, and it's just been a very, very challenging time for the Simpson family. And just deciding how best to get her the care that she needs has been just on the forefront of my mind and the forefront of our family's mind. It has been some of the hardest times I've ever experienced in my life. And I've been around for 43 years, so I've gone through hard times, but no one prepared you for this. On the personal side, that has caused me to really take a hard look at where my resources were going in time, energy, and effort. Really dialing in where is my time going in what capacity. I also had the experience of my team internally just kind of imploded. I mean, it makes it sound really drastic, but it's not that drastic. And it was all good. Nothing terrible happened. I just realized that the infrastructure on the inside is that if there was a team member that was moving on, or a team member that was growing or sharing their, going on to different journeys, the infrastructure on the inside really could handle it and not handle it at the same time. So I just had a lot of turnovers. My coaches turned, my sales team turned, my admin team turned. And so it forced me to take a cold, hard look at, does the business really miss it and really miss that person's presence? Now, of course, I'm just going to say yes. But what I mean is more from the productivity and ROI side, return on investment side. So, as a business owner, you have to look at what is the investment and what is the return on the investment. Can you delegate, automate, or delete any of the components that person was doing? I mean, I could do a whole, I'm getting away from the topic and I want to make sure that we dive into this. So if you are interested and curious about how you actually look at these numbers, then just send me a DM and we can talk about it. Because what happens is a lot of people accidentally just throw money at the problem and hope that the money is going to solve it when that's not really the case. You have to be able to be so discerning and clear on where your investment dollars are giving you a return inside of the business so that you can know whether or not either the work is worth doing or the productivity of the person is working. So we just had a lot of those kinds of changes come through. Now, through that struggle, I actually did some really incredible experiments. Like, I don't know if you follow me over on Instagram at B Simpson Fitness, but I posted 3 to 5 days for 30 days on a pretty new-ish account. I mean, there's 4,000 followers on that account. And I got some really incredible data. I shared in the episode before this called The Truth About Instagram Growth about all of those components of the things that I learned in doing that experiment during this trying time. And I'll definitely link it up in the show notes because it's a good one. So with all those learnings said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of how you as a personal trainer or other health and wellness coach can get into generating revenue, whether you're in the holiday season or whether you are either closing out the quarter of 2025 or whatever year it is now, or you're getting set up for the year of 2026. Okay, step one, the first thing that we need to do, assuming that you already know what the vision is, assuming that you already know what your goals are, now we need to reverse engineer our goals. And the way that I like to think about reverse engineering goals is as simple as this. Your goal that you create will then determine a target, milestones that will demonstrate and show you that you are successful. The targets are determined by performance metrics. A performance metric is the action that you have taken and measuring how well that action has done given the outcome. Okay. And so what happens to a lot of people is that they just don't know how to be discerning in the data. So let me just encourage you that once you're clear on those targets from the performance, then the actions that you will take will become binary, where you either ask yourself, did I do it or did I not do it? And when you do that, it will help you become a little bit less emotional. And in this season that I just had with my daughter and managing all of the things, oh man, I forgot to even tell you. So I had tech people leave. I had, my team leave. I also had my tech just went completely down the drain. I lost my email list. My ads weren't working. If everything could go wrong, it did. I don't know what that law is or whatever, but that's what happened. And I'm looking back on it now because I'm kind of coming through that. And my stress response is to just freeze. I just kind of froze. I numbed out. I either freeze or I run. And I was freezing. I was melting. I didn't know what to do. I was feeling just like everything was imploding around me. That's how I felt. And then I did that experiment where I was posting 3 to 5 times a day, and it caused me to move into comparison mode instead of creating. It was just like Q3 into the beginning of Q4 caused a lot of internal pain, which through pain comes beauty and the next revelation. People move away from pain faster than they move towards pleasure. Pain causes you to pay attention and change. I'm grateful to have gone through that, and I'm looking forward to just leaving that all behind. This episode is just kind of the summation and recap of where that is and sharing the nitty-gritty of what is to come into 2026 and get back into that consistency pattern, because I also learned, well, I'll leave those learnings for the end so that I can really get into some things. What do we do? How do we do this? So once you're clear on what those actions are so that you can measure outcomes and to see what your targets are, then we can start taking a look at, well, what can those inspired actions be? So step one, if I was new, or even if I wasn't new, is there a way that you can take a look at your offer stack? Look at all the offers that you have. How can you create the offer and look at your offers to be so irresistible that they are fun to deliver and that they sell themselves? Now, a lot of personal trainers, especially when they new, they are used to selling sessions. They don't get paid unless they show up. And so they come to the online space and they sell sessions. But what we want to instead is really look for transformations, because remember, your consumers are now savvy. They've had horrible experiences with people in the DMs or horrible experiences with people on the phone. And so now they are looking for a solution to their problem. And then what happens is they're either going to buy pills, potions, quick fixes from people who have no problem potentially harming them, because you, who are smart and successful and care about the science of training, they don't know you exist. You don't show up. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to turn your science into sales, and we're going to create a digital program that will have transformation in it. It will have leverage in it. It will help your consumer get the result that they want, not what they need, but what they want. You will get them on board with what they need. So you will package that program together in a way that is so irresistible it sells itself. And especially now as we're going into the holiday season, you have so many amazing things that you can look at, that you can do, that you probably already have, that you could zhuzh up to really get excited about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We are in a holiday buying season, and people love to buy things. They just hate to be sold to. So if they don't know that they can buy from you, then why would they? So step three, after you kind of look and assess your offer stack, here are the top offers that I would recommend every successful business have. First, you need to have your free offers. Now, your free offers are not these freebies that everyone downloads and then goes into the PDF graveyard. No, no, these are high value freebies. And these high value freebies are not going to be spending hours of time creating, thinking about these freebies. No, no, these are conversation based freebies that they don't get to have them unless they have a conversation with you. So this is not like your traditional PDF in the, put your PDF in the PDF graveyard. And the good news is that you can put these high level freebies out right now within the next 7 days. In fact, I do a 3 post profit plan for free. It's the exact protocol that my people use to generate anywhere from 5 to 15K within 3 posts. So send me a DM if you want me to show you what those are. Just comment the word profit and I'll put together this plan for you either on Instagram DMs, and I'm sure if you comment below, I will still be able to find it. Okay, so then in addition to your high value conversations, we also need to have accessible offers. So these are your low ticket offers. Now, we don't want to have low ticket and be in a low ticket market because what we want is low ticket offers that are ideal and perfect for people who want the premium offer. So we want to be careful with the low ticket market versus the high ticket market because we still want to have our premium offers. We still want to have that level of clients that we are serving, the ones that show up for themselves, that do the work, that are ready for that transformation that you provide. And so we're not necessarily going for that low ticket market where we're just trying to go for volume. So let me give you an example of what that would look like in the gym space. Planet Fitness is a low ticket market, meaning they don't really care. They just are going for as many people as possible to purchase their $10 monthly membership. In fact, they want you to almost forget that you're paying for it and they sell more even though they oversell past capacity. So that's the low ticket model. They're going for volume. Now, our accessible low ticket model is to treat the people that want and need your services that are dedicated so they are still of the caliber of a high ticket client where we are really going for the people who are showing up doing the work, that we're not trying to like almost wish that they didn't have the membership or they forget that they're paying for that membership. We want people who are actually dedicated and doing the work. So what that means is you have accessible options to serve the people that might not necessarily be able to afford your premium program, and or we are giving them a result to get them ready to deepen the sense of trust in your process so that they can move to your premium offers, move to those transformation offers faster and actually get those results so that they can move to the premium offers because now they really know and trust that your work is the best for them. Then step two, we need to put the right offers in front of the right people at the right time. Just plain and simple. We need to do that. And so the way that I like to do it as we move into phase two is I like to set up a rapid lean launch. And so the rapid lean launch is specifically designed to help you connect with the 3% of the audience that you have who's ready to buy, or the 3% of the audience that is ready to buy, they just haven't met you yet. So we do this with a combination of organic and paid traffic, specifically with Instagram. So what we're going to do is you're going to create 3 to 12 conversion content pieces. So what we're going to do is create 3 to 12 conversion concepts. Now, the good news about these concepts is that you literally, once you have these dialed in, this is all you will talk about for the rest of your career. Like literally, you get these concepts, 12 problems that are going to get broken down, 3 core problems that we're going to break down into 15 different angles, and that literally once you say this on repeat, it will become your sticky anchor. People will recognize your message and be like, oh, that's the girl who, And without even knowing your face, they will know that you are the one that helps them solve a specific problem to get a specific outcome. So no more will you be wondering, what should I post today? You will literally have 3 core concepts that you'll have different angles to go towards. So what I'll teach my clients to do is dial in those concepts. Once they have those concepts, then we're going to create 3 value forward posts that are going to be like long form, posts that are going to actually provide the insight in the post. Then we are going to create 7 hand raisers. And a hand raiser is where the value and the insight comes on the other side of the conversation. And so then that process is literally designed to get you a cash infusion so that when you go to set up your systems to scale, and now we are bringing people into a customer journey. And honestly, I have my people dial into these 2 places. You are either going to create a webinar with a low ticket offer on the thank you page, or we're going to dial in a direct to purchase so that people can come in, connect, go deep fast, and then become a customer or client on the other side. Sure, challenges, events, all these other funnel stacking types of things tend to work. But what I have been seeing pretty successfully in the last year, especially when I was just kind of at the lowest of capacity of what I could handle, literally having that webinar or that masterclass training weekly where I could connect with my people, that has been huge. So that webinar, and then also having my low ticket offers where people can buy, where there's no pressure for them to make a buying decision. They just decide. What happens is when you get this dialed in, you create an unlimited ad budget. It works for me. It also works for my clients so that you can start to spend as much as you possibly can in order to generate your revenue. And so, because the truth of the matter is, especially as we go into 2026, volume is going to be a huge component of the growth. You need to be able to stay top of mind, and you're either going to do it with paid ads or you're going to do it organically. And for me, it really is a combination of both. But instead of posting 10 times a day, I'd rather just post once a day and then let my ads do the work because I've already spent time doing it. It's so much easier to let my ads do that work than me go and pound the pavement and DM 100 people who've never heard of me before and try to love bomb them and try to like get them to like me enough to say yes to the next step. And that's just not for me. And it's not what I teach my clients to do. And I think that it can potentially cause harm for people pleasers when they're like, oh, I just, or recovering people pleasers where they're told to build, know, like, and trust. But you know who likes and loves me the most? My mom, my kids, and my husband. And none of them have ever bought from me. So instead, we just need to shift perspective, right? People have resistance. So we need to remove resistance. We need to demonstrate results in advance and then provide a clear path to yes. That's how you're going to turn someone who's never heard of you before into a customer. So once you get those pieces of content dialed in, then you can literally create as many pieces of content from all different angles as you want. It becomes so easy because now you have this bucket of content that all you need to do is maybe you need to change the angle at the hook. Maybe you need to change the call to action, but the value and the insight remains the same. And that is so exciting. And so then once you start to generate about 50 to 100 conversations that are inbound, so they're DMing you, and you're doing this with your hand raiser content and your organic content and your DM ads, then we can start moving people into a conversion ad where they go from never hearing of you before to buying a low ticket offer or coming to your masterclass and then inviting them into a sales mechanism like a call or a DM. And in fact, I have figured out, just because of all of my staffing transition and because of my capacity with my daughter, I had to figure out a way that I could have high converting conversations without managing a massive sales team and without having to be on 7 calls a day. And so what I did was I set up this Loom experience where people can watch customized looms. I mean, it's really amazing. If you're curious about what that looks like, just DM Profit. I'll show you. and I'll customize it for you. And there's nothing out there that does it in the same way. And this is how you can stay innovative on AI, because AI is not going to be able to do. And then you can use AI to help you stay more productive and help more people get more work done. As we move into 2026, this is going to be a game changer. And so then once you have all of that dialed in, then you can begin to scale it up and start to automate your processes with AI, with unlimited ad budget. And then you get to work at your own capacity. And that's how you make money on Instagram as a personal trainer. And so now you have an echo chamber of messaging where you will have a combination of value forward content and hand raisers that worked in a systematic way in tandem with your ads. And so then what happens is you are no longer in competition with any colleague. You are in competition with attention. And it takes anywhere from 6 to 14 Google, these are stats that Google had shared, that it takes anywhere from 6 to 14 hours of consumption. And if you're not putting out that content for people to consume, then how can they trust your process? And that's what we're looking for, a trust in your process that it's going to solve their problem to get their outcome. So if you're curious about how this could work for you, you could comment profit and I'll share with you a customized profit plan. Come find me in the DM. I have a free workshop on where I will show you live how to put this system in your business. So thanks for hanging out with me today. It feels good to be back. And I'm looking forward to closing out 2025 strong and moving into 2026 with a clear path. Okay, great job here. I'll catch you in the next one.